Maya Chen had been a freelance photographer for 6 years. She lived in a small apartment in Austin, Texas. Her walls were covered with her own black and white prints. Empty chairs. Rainy streets. Hands reaching for something just out of frame. She was good at capturing loneliness because she knew it well. Her mother had passed away 2 years ago. Her father remarried and moved to Florida. And her only real friend was Leo, a golden retriever who snored loudly and took up most of her bed. One Tuesday afternoon, her phone rang. It was her college roommate, Sasha. Sasha worked as a personal assistant for a tech mogul in San Francisco. "Maya," Sasha said, her voice urgent. "I need a huge favor. My boss needs someone to accompany him to a family event this weekend. His usual person canceled. And I thought of you." "What kind of event?" Maya asked. "A wedding. His cousin is getting married in Napa Valley. And he needs a date. Not a real date. Just someone to smile and make small talk." "Why me?" "Because you are not in his industry. You do not work for him. You are safe. And honestly, he is paying $5,000 for the weekend." Maya looked at her bank account. Looked at Leo. Looked at the stack of unpaid bills on her kitchen counter. "Okay," she said. "What is his name?" "Damian Cross," Sasha said. "The Damian Cross." Maya almost dropped the phone. Damian Cross was the founder of Cross Robotics, a 35-year-old billionaire who had been on the cover of every tech magazine for the past 3 years. He was famous for being brilliant, reclusive, and rumored to never smile in photographs. People called him the robot because they said he had no emotions. Maya did not care about his reputation. She cared about $5,000. On Friday morning, she took a flight to San Francisco. Sasha met her at the airport, handed her a garment bag with a dress, and briefed her on the story. "You two met at a gallery opening 6 months ago. You are a photographer. You have been dating quietly because he values his privacy. Do not mention his work. Do not ask about the company. And whatever you do not tell anyone this is fake." Maya nodded, changed into the dress, a simple emerald green that Sasha had somehow known would fit perfectly, and got into a black town car. The drive to Napa took an hour and a half. The vineyards stretched out like green waves under the California sun. Maya tried to calm her nerves by counting the rows of grapevines. She lost count at 200. The wedding was at a private estate, a sprawling stone mansion surrounded by oak trees and lavender fields. Guests were already arriving. Women in designer gowns, men in tailored suits. Maya felt like she had stepped onto a movie set. She stood near the entrance, waiting for Damian to meet her. She had never seen him in person, only in photos. And the photos did not prepare her. When he walked up to her, she understood why the magazines called him magnetic. He was tall, broad-shouldered, dark hair swept back from a sharp face. His eyes were the color of whiskey, warm but guarded. And when he looked at her, he did not smile. He just studied her, like she was a problem he was trying to solve. "Maya," he said. His voice was low, slightly rough. "Damian," she replied, holding out her hand. He ignored her hand. Instead, he stepped closer. tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, and said, "We are supposed to look like a couple. People are watching. Play along." His fingers brushed her cheek, and Maya felt a jolt of electricity that had nothing to do with the story they were telling. The wedding was beautiful, but Maya barely noticed. She spent the afternoon on Damien's arm, smiling at strangers, making small talk about things she did not care about, and trying to ignore the way her heart raced every time he touched her. He was good at pretending. His hand rested on the small of her back. His thumb traced small circles. He laughed at her jokes and looked at her like she was the only person in the room. At the reception, they sat at the head table. Damien's cousin was a cheerful man named Ethan. His new wife was a former ballet dancer named Isabella. They seemed genuinely happy, and Maya felt a pang of envy. She had never been in love. Not really. She had dated. But no one had ever looked at her the way Ethan looked at Isabella. Damien must have noticed her expression, because he leaned close, his lips near her ear. "What are you thinking about?" She turned her head. Their faces were inches apart. She could see the small lines around his eyes, the faint shadow of stubble on his jaw. "I was thinking," she said, "that I have never seen anyone look at someone like that. Like they were the answer to every question." Damien was silent for a moment. Then he said, "Neither have I." He was not looking at the happy couple. He was looking at her. Maya looked away first, her cheeks burning. During the dancing, Damien pulled her onto the floor. His hand found her waist. His other hand held hers. They swayed to a slow song, and Maya felt like she was floating. "You are good at this," she said. "At what?" "Pretending." He pulled back slightly, looked at her. "Who says I am pretending?" The music continued, but Maya stopped hearing it. "Damien," she began, but he shook his head. "Not here." He said, "Not now. Later." They left the reception at midnight. The town car took them to a small inn in the hills. Sasha had booked them separate rooms. But when Maya walked to her door, Damien followed. "Can I come in?" he asked. She should have said no. She was being paid to pretend. Nothing more. But she nodded, opened the door, and let him in. They sat on the edge of the bed, a careful distance between them. "Why did you agree to this?" he asked. "The money," she said honestly. "I needed it." He nodded, did not look surprised. "I agreed because I needed something too." "What?" He ran a hand through his hair, looked out the window at the dark vineyards. "My mother," he said. "She is the one who pushed me to come to this wedding. She thinks I am lonely. She is not wrong." Maya waited. Damien continued. "I have spent my whole life building things. Machines, companies, systems, things that make sense. People." He paused. "People do not make sense. But you," he looked at her. "You looked at me today like I was not a robot. Like I was just a man." Maya did not know what to say. So she did the only thing that made sense. She reached out and took his hand. His fingers closed around hers, and for a long moment, Neither of them spoke. "Stay," he said. "Just for tonight. I do not want to be alone." She stayed. They did not kiss, did not touch beyond holding hands, but they lay on the bed, side by side, watching the moonlight move across the ceiling, and Maya felt something she had never felt before. Not just attraction, but recognition, like she had been lost her whole life and had finally found a map. The next morning, they had breakfast on a terrace overlooking the valley. Damien was different in the daylight, less guarded. He told her about growing up in a small town in Ohio, about his father who left when he was 10, about his mother who worked 2 jobs to put him through school, about how he built his first robot from scrap parts when he was 14. "I was a lonely kid," he said. "So I built friends. Machines do not leave." Maya felt her chest tighten. "My mother died 2 years ago," she said. "Cancer. I took care of her at home, watched her fade. And after she was gone, I did not know what to do with myself. So I took pictures of empty things, empty chairs, empty streets, empty rooms, because that was how I felt. Empty." Damien reached across the table, took her hand. "You are not empty," he said. "I can see you. Right now. And you are full of things. Things you are afraid to let out." Maya blinked back tears. "How do you know?" "Because I am the same," he said. Their flight back to San Francisco was quiet, but not uncomfortable. Maya looked out the window at the clouds and thought about how strange life was. How a $5,000 favor had turned into something she could not name. When they landed, Damien walked her to the car that would take her to the airport. "Come back," he said. "Next weekend. There is another event. A charity gala. I will pay you the same amount." Maya should have said no. She should have taken her money and gone back to Austin. Back to her small apartment and her snoring dog and her lonely photographs. But she looked at his whiskey-colored eyes and heard herself say, "Okay." The next weekend, she flew back to San Francisco. The gala was at a museum. Crystal chandeliers, champagne towers, a symphony orchestra playing softly in the background. Maya wore a different dress. Deep burgundy. Sasha had sent it. Damien met her at the entrance. He was wearing a black tuxedo. And when he saw her, he stopped. His eyes traveled over her from head to toe. And for the first time, he smiled. A real smile. Not the polite one he used for cameras, but something warm. Something just for her. "You look beautiful," he said. "You clean up okay yourself," she replied. He laughed. A genuine laugh. And Maya felt her heart crack open a little more. They walked into the gala together. His hand on her lower back. Her hand on his arm. People stared. Whispered. But Maya did not care. Because when Damien looked at her, she felt like she was the only person in the room. Halfway through the night, a woman approached them. She was tall, blonde, wearing a silver dress that probably cost more than my apartment. "Damien," she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "I did not expect to see you here. With company. Vanessa." Damien said, his tone cool. This is Maya. Vanessa looked at Maya, her eyes assessing, dismissing. Charming, she said. Then she turned back to Damien. Your mother is looking for you. She wants to introduce you to someone. I am not interested. Vanessa smiled. A sharp smile. She is not going to give up, you know. She wants grandchildren. And she has made it clear that I am her preferred candidate. Damien's jaw tightened. Then she will be disappointed. Vanessa laughed. We will see. She walked away, leaving a trail of expensive perfume. Maya looked at Damien. Who was that? His ex, he said. Briefly. A long time ago. His mother still hopes they will get back together. Maya felt something twist in her stomach. Jealousy. She realized. She had no right to be jealous. This was a job. She was being paid. But the feeling did not go away. Later that night, after the gala ended, Damien drove her to his apartment. Not the penthouse she expected, but a modest flat in a quiet neighborhood, with books stacked on every surface, and a cat asleep on the sofa. This is where you live? She asked. Surprised. This is where I live. He confirmed. The other places are for show. This is home. He made tea. They sat on the balcony, looking at the city lights. The cat, whose name was Turing, curled up on Maya's lap. Your mother wants you to marry Vanessa, Maya said. Not a question. Damien sighed. My mother wants me to be happy. She thinks Vanessa can make me happy. Because Vanessa is from the same world. She understands the pressures, the expectations. Do you love her? No, he said, without hesitation. I never did. Then why would you marry her? He looked at her, his whiskey eyes serious. Because I thought love was not for me. I thought I was too broken, too focused on work. Too. He paused. Too robotic. Maya set down her tea, turned to face him. You are not a robot. Damien, you are the least robotic person I have ever met. You have a cat named after Alan Turing. You live in a normal apartment. You make your own tea. And you... She hesitated. You look at me like I matter. He reached out, touched her face, his thumb tracing her cheekbone. You do matter, he said. Maya, I know this started as an arrangement, but I do not want to pretend anymore. Not with you. Maya felt tears prick her eyes. What do you want? She whispered. He leaned closer, his forehead touching hers. I want to see where this goes. For real. No money. No pretending. Just you and me. Maya kissed him. Not because she was supposed to, but because she could not imagine doing anything else. His arms wrapped around her, pulled her close. And for the first time in years, Maya did not feel empty. She felt full. Full of hope. Full of fear. Full of something that felt a lot like love. The weeks that followed were a blur of flights and phone calls and stolen weekends. Maya flew to San Francisco every Friday. Damien flew to Austin when he could. They explored each other's cities. hiked in the hills, ate tacos from food trucks, walked Leo together. And every night, they talked about their childhoods, their fears, their dreams. Damien told her about the pressure of running a company that employed thousands of people, about the sleepless nights, the constant scrutiny, the loneliness of being surrounded by yes men. Maya told him about her mother's illness, about watching her fade, about the guilt she still carried for not being able to save her, about how she had stopped taking photographs of people because people left. But machines stayed. One night, they were lying in bed in Maya's small apartment, Leo snoring at their feet, the moon casting silver light through the window. "Damien," Maya said, "do you ever think about what happens next?" "What do you mean?" "I mean," she turned to face him, "your mother wants you to marry someone from your world. Someone who can host dinner parties and charm investors. I am a photographer from Austin. My best friend is a dog. I do not know how to be a billionaire wife." He pulled her closer, kissed her forehead. "I do not want a billionaire wife," he said. "I want you. I do not care about dinner parties or investors. I care about coming home to someone who sees me. Not the company. Not the money. Me." Maya cried. And Damien held her. And in the darkness, she believed him. But the world was not so kind. 2 months into their real relationship, a gossip blog published a story. Mystery woman spends weekends with tech billionaire Damien Cross. The article included photos. Maya leaving his apartment. Maya walking Leo in Austin. Maya at the Gala. The comments were brutal. Who is she? Where does she come from? She is not his type. Probably a gold digger. Maya tried to ignore it, but the comments followed her. Every time she opened her phone, every time she went online, she saw strangers dissecting her life. Her clothes, her job, her worth. Damien wanted to issue a statement, but Maya asked him not to. "It will make it worse," she said. "Let them talk. They will get bored eventually." But they did not get bored. The story grew. Journalists started camping outside her apartment. Her landlord got annoyed. Her neighbors complained. And Maya began to feel like a prisoner in her own home. One night, she called Damien in tears. "I cannot do this," she said. "I cannot live like this. I cannot have strangers judging every part of my life." Damien was silent for a long moment. Then he said, "Come to San Francisco. Stay with me. We will figure it out together." She packed a bag, took Leo, and flew to San Francisco that night. Damien met her at the airport. He took her in his arms and held her for a long time. "I am sorry," he said. "I never wanted this for you." "I know," she said. "But I am here, and I am not going anywhere." They decided to stop hiding. Damien introduced Maya to his board, to his investors, to his mother. His mother was polite, but cool. She asked Maya pointed questions about her education, her family, her plans. And Maya answered honestly, even when the answers made her feel small. After the dinner, Damien's mother pulled him aside. Maya could not hear what they said, but she saw Damien's face tighten, and her heart sank. What did she say? Maya asked when they were alone. She said, Damien said, that you are lovely, but not right for me. She wants me to think about the company, about the shareholders, about the legacy. And what did you say? He took her hands. I said that the company would survive. The shareholders would adapt. And the legacy meant nothing if I was miserable. Maya kissed him. And for a moment, everything felt possible. But the pressure did not stop. Vanessa started appearing at events. Always with Damien's mother. Always smiling. Always hinting that she was the better choice. Maya tried to be gracious. Tried to rise above. But every comment, every look, every whispered conversation cut a little deeper. One night, after a particularly difficult dinner with Damien's mother, Maya broke down. I cannot compete with her, she said. She is everything I am not. Rich, polished, connected. Damien held her. You are not competing, he said, because I have already chosen you. But Maya heard the doubt in her own heart, and she wondered if choosing her would cost Damien everything he had built. A week later, Damien's mother called. She asked Maya to meet her for lunch. Alone. Maya went. Nervous, but determined. They met at a quiet restaurant in Pacific Heights. Damien's mother was elegant, sharp, and direct. I'm going to be honest with you, she said. I do not think you are right for my son. Maya nodded. I know. But I love him. And he loves me. Love is not enough, Damien's mother said. There are practical considerations. Business alliances. Social expectations. Maya felt anger rise in her chest. With respect, she said. I do not care about business alliances or social expectations. I care about your son. I care that he is happy. And I know, because he has told me, that he has been lonely his entire life. Until now. Damien's mother was silent. Maya continued. I am not Vanessa. I will never be Vanessa. But I will love him. I will support him. I will be there when he cannot sleep. When he doubts himself. When the world feels too heavy. And if that is not enough for you, then I am sorry. But I am not going anywhere. The silence stretched. Then Damien's mother smiled. A real smile. Not the polite one she wore at parties. You have fire, she said. I like that. Vanessa would never have spoken to me like that. She is too busy trying to please me. Maya blinked. Does that mean? It means, Damien's mother said, that I was wrong about you. You are not just a photographer from Austin. You are someone who fights for what she wants. And my son, he needs someone who will fight for him. Maya cried. Damien's mother handed her a napkin. And for the first time, she looked at Maya like she was family. Damien proposed 3 months later. Not at a fancy restaurant. Not at a gala. But in his small apartment. With Turing asleep on the sofa. And Leo wagging his tail. He got down on one knee. Held out a simple ring. a diamond with a sapphire on either side. "Maya," he said, "you walked into my life as a stranger, and you became my home. I do not want to spend another day pretending that I can live without you. Will you marry me?" Maya was crying too hard to speak, so she nodded. And then she said, "Yes. 1,000 times yes." They got married 6 months later at a small vineyard in Napa, where they had first pretended to be a couple. Now it was real. Damien's mother walked him down the aisle. Maya had no family left, so Sasha stood beside her, and Leo carried the rings in a little pouch attached to his collar. The ceremony was short. The vows were simple. And when Damien kissed her, Maya felt like the luckiest woman in the world. After the wedding, they moved into a new house. Not a mansion, but a home with a garden and a dark room for Maya, and a workshop for Damien. They adopted another dog, a rescue named Ada, after Ada Lovelace. And they lived. Not perfectly, but truly. There were still hard days. Still moments when the world felt too heavy. But they faced them together. And that made all the difference. Years later, Maya sat on the porch of their house, watching the sun set over the hills. Damien came out with 2 glasses of wine, sat beside her. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "About that first day," she said, "when you tucked my hair behind my ear, and I felt like I had been struck by lightning." He laughed. "I was terrified," he admitted. "I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I did not want you to leave." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "And I stayed." "You stayed," he said, "and you never left." "I never will," she promised. The sun dipped below the horizon. The stars came out, and Maya thought about how strange life was. How a $5,000 favor had turned into forever. How a man who was supposed to be a robot had taught her how to feel. How a woman who was afraid of being left had finally found someone who would stay. Some love stories begin with a lie and end with the truest thing in the world. Some people find each other when they least expect it and spend the rest of their lives being grateful they said yes. Maya said yes to a weekend and found a lifetime. Damien asked a stranger to pretend and found his heart. Sometimes, the best things in life start with a simple question. Close the door and see what happens next. Because behind every closed door, there might be a story waiting. A love worth fighting for. A person who will see you, really see you, and choose you. Not despite your scars, but because of them. Maya and Damien's story is not a fairy tale. It is real, messy, imperfect, and absolutely beautiful. Because love is not about finding someone perfect. It is about finding someone who makes your imperfect life feel complete. And if you are still searching, do not give up. Your door might close tomorrow, and everything might change. Do you believe